We are officially on the commentary version 7 of 8. So after this one, we've just got one more, and we'll finally be done with Quest for Glory 2. Now, the way this is going to work, you're going to see the intro, just like all the other ones, and then you're going to see what my character looked like when he's first imported. So you're only going to see it for a brief second to show where we started when we first came into Quest for Glory 2, and then I actually do a restore to whatever point I'm at. So each one of these, if you watch my original playthrough with no commentary, it is 11 hours and 22 minutes. And what I've done is I've taken that and sped that up. And then I diced those into 8 pieces and sped those up as well, so that each one is roughly about a half an hour. About half an hour. Some are 29 minutes, and there is one I think that was 34 minutes, but overall they average to about half an hour each. The reason I did this is pretty obvious, right? I don't think I could talk for 11 hours straight. I probably have some friends that would probably disagree with that. But more importantly, I don't know if anyone would want to listen to me talk for 11 hours straight in one sitting, because that is a lot. And even just watching an 11-hour and 22-minute playthrough with no commentary is probably a lot. The one benefit would probably be if you're watching it, just as you're going to sleep, which is fine, because that way for at least 11 hours and 22 minutes, you're not going to have another video that's going to have like a louder volume and a bunch of bangs and booms that might wake you up from your sleep. You're just going to have this very quiet, calm Quest for Glory 2 playthrough for 11 hours and 22 minutes. So that is a good thing to go to sleep to if that is what you choose to do. And hey, that gets me views. So you know what? Even though you may be asleep watching the video, I'll take the win. I'll take that W. But anyway, so what I did, as I said, is I took the 11 hours and 33 minutes, sped that up, cut that into 8 pieces, and sped each of those up to be about 30 minutes, because that is smaller, easier doses to take in. And when I first did this, I think the first 4, I was releasing like almost every couple of days, like every 2 days. And I felt like that was a lot, because the first 2 got a lot of views, but then the 3rd and 4th one, the views kind of lowered. And so here's my hero as we first started the game, the import from 1 to 2. But then like the 3rd and the 4th, kind of the views and the likes, not that I get a lot of either. So like if I get 100 views, I'm stoked. And it's painful when I watch other videos and they're like, hey, let's see if we can get to 50,000 views. And I'm like, let's just see if we can get to 50 views. Let's see if we can get to 4,000 likes. I just want 4 likes. So, as you may have seen with the intro of the video, I am now trying to get actually to 1,000, because at 1,000 I can try to monetize it, because the views that I'm getting are high enough. Like a lot of them are like the Johnny Castaway, because there's a number of those that are like 11 hours long. So I think people just watch those and go to sleep, because those tend to get a lot of views. But yeah, I am trying to get to 1,000 so that I can monetize it. But anyway, let's just catch up to where we're at now. We started the game, we found out that the water elemental's out. I thought I could get close to her, and unfortunately you can't get too close, because she basically drains all the liquid out of you and kills you. So what you do is you put down a water skin, which makes sense because it contains water, but then how do you get her in there? Well, you have a Bellows that has the air elemental, which you can use to basically push her, but I am not sure why that forces her into the water skin. You would think it's a water elemental, she would just go right over the water skin and not really care about it. But apparently that is enough to catch her. So you use the Bellows. First you use water skin and then the Bellows, and that captures her. And then when I went to the RX guy and I was like, hey, you know what? I have some ghoul claws. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm done buying these things from you. Clearly you're out there killing them all. I don't need more. So out of spite, I don't drop them in the shop. I actually go outside and then I drop them. That's super petty of me, I know, but that was my way of saying, hey, I'm not even going to drop these in your store so that you can pick them up. I'm going to go outside and do it. All right, and so we come here and we get a note from Uhura who says, hey, there was a note on my door, and the note pretty much reads, tomorrow night is your last night. You'll get your final orders then. Be seeing you soon. Which is pretty cryptic, and Uhura is mad that they're basically using the front door of the guild to post these notes with like a dagger in it. You know, it's putting damage to the door. So she says, hey, you know, tell them to come to me and I'll take care of it. So anyway, we're gonna do some training montage here. We have a ton of stamina now. I think we're almost to 200. And so we can actually outlast Uhura in most cases where she says, hey, I need to rest now. And so the game is not glitching. I am actually repeatedly going in here to basically burn down my stamina and to raise basically skills and attributes. So you can see when I look at my skills, and you can see these changes in red, which are things that are increasing, except for like stamina. Stamina is red because it decreased. But you got to think, like, why does Rakeesh never suspect that something's up? Because every time I leave, Uhura is pretty tired. You know, because my hero, having worked out as hard as he has out in the desert and then basically training with her, I mean, he is a dashing hero at this point, right? You know, he's muscular, he's strong, he's confident, he's beaten 4 elementals. The ladies gotta love him. Everyone loves him. Every time I walk somewhere, the Kata are like, hey, it's so great that you helped. So clearly we have a nice dashing hero. But anyway, this is an Leisure Suit Larry game. I'm not trying to pump up our hero. I'm just saying our hero is pretty awesome. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over here, and we'll notice that the Kata who is trying to sell us that pin for 500 dinar, after you beat the water elemental, which is the 4th and final elemental that you'll fight, they're like, oh, hey, you know what? You've done so much for the city. Go ahead and have this pin for free. So I went, purchased some more water skins. We're going to fill up on some water. We're also going to go do some more training, pick up some more vigor pills and some healing pills. But first, let's read the board, see if there's anything new here. So we can see that none of these signs, unfortunately, have changed. That would have been kind of cool as you complete things if other notices appeared up here, so that the hero continues to have extra stuff to do. So you can ask about the EOF, and she pretty much says they're stupid punks. They're just brickheads. So we're going to go ahead and take a vigor pill, and we're going to do another training montage. Again, I've just mentioned this before with the other ones, where during combat, like if I'm out in the desert, I'm just straight up attacking. I'm doing nothing defensively. I'm not trying to dodge, I'm not trying to parry. I am relying on my sword and strength to basically take down what is in front of me as quickly as possible. However, when I train with Uhura, you'll see that I'm spending time like dodging and parrying, because by doing that, you raise those skills, but you also raise other attributes. So like agility and stuff like that. I think even intelligence went up as well. Someone on the Sierra forum said that that was not the case, but I watched it and intelligence did go up. And I believe they're anticipating that as basically you're anticipating how someone's going to fight you. So your intelligence goes up and understanding how an enemy is going to attack you. All right, so I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I'm pretty sure I have in my other commentaries. My dislike for Keep On Laughing is tremendous. I think he's supposed to be funny. I am just not getting that vibe at all. There's nothing I like about Keep On Laughing. His jokes aren't funny, his rhymes aren't funny. There's literally nothing funny about him. So I'm sure if you play a mage or a wizard, it's probably more useful. I'm sure he has all kinds of spells that he can sell you. But as a fighter who is aspiring to be a paladin, there's just not much for me other than when I went and got the dervish's beard for some coin. All right, so by walking through the halls, it's now nighttime. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of look around because we got that note that says, hey, you'll get your orders tomorrow. Now, the question is, they had to have put it on before 8 a.m. because I'm guessing 8 a.m. because that's when the guild hall opens. So did they put it there anticipating that today I would get my orders? Or did they know I'd get it today and then technically tomorrow I'll get these orders? So we're just going to kind of walk around and see if anything happens. So we're just going to meander through the halls. All right. I figured by walking through these halls that, according to that note, maybe someone was going to attack me or something, or someone was going to ambush me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So it would seem that tomorrow night is actually probably tomorrow night, as in I need to rest for tomorrow to happen. So what we'll do is kind of meander around a little bit more, walk around, see if we can get even more tired. Because I've discovered that by walking through these halls, you can burn a lot of time in the game in terms of not just time by wasting it, but the game clock moves quite a bit. So even if you teleport, it also burns time. So if you're on one end of the map and you teleport to the other end of the map, it considers that time because you can teleport back and forth like 2 or 3 times and it'll suddenly go from day to night. Because it's anticipating that you're looking at a map, but you're actually, in terms of the game, even though it's instantaneous because you're going from place to place, the game is actually taking it that you're walking that distance. And if anyone knew me in real life, this is pretty much how I would be in real life. I would absolutely be lost, even though I have a map next to me. I would be the one with the map who finds dead ends. So we're just going to go ahead, go back here, see if anything happens at the guild hall, go check out the hallway. Because you got to figure they're near the guild hall because they put a note on the guild hall. Granted, yes, that's where you train the most, but if they were wanting to be more effective, wouldn't you put a note at the inn? Because that's where you turn in every night. You're not always guaranteed to go to the guild hall to train, but you are pretty much guaranteed to at least make your way to the inn and get some rest. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll head to the inn. And she mentions that the Atlantis wants to see us and Uhura wants to see us. So both of these ladies want to see this fine specimen of a hero. All right, so we're going to start the morning after a rest. We're going to get some food, some delicious, delicious food, as well as some tea that is remarkable. And we're going to thank Shema for the food that she's brought us. We're going to eat the food and drink the tea and head outside. And the beggar's here. So we're going to give some Dinai, Darnar, however you pronounce that coin, to the beggar, and we're going to try to quickly raise our honor. Because what we're shooting for is to have Rakeesh basically speak for us so that we are acknowledged as a paladin for all of our wonderful heroic deeds. Now, having already played this and now doing a commentary post playthrough, small spoiler alert. I mess up somewhere, and I know exactly where I mess up. And I don't want to spoil it now, unless you've already watched the playthrough, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly where I messed up. And I'll wait until that moment shows up, and I'll call myself out for being an idiot. So we know now that it's following morning, we've gotten a note from Uhura that says, hey, go to this street and this street. There's stuff there. And now we're going to go to Aziza, and she wants to talk to us about Rasir. She intends to work some magic to help find out some information that will be useful for us when we go to Rasir. So apparently, hey, we're going to Rasir, which is the town that is cursed and basically being run by Ad Avis. And while we're talking about that, for anyone who enjoys those little fun facts that I was doing in the previous episodes, here's another one. So Razir is actually an anagram for Sierra, the company that produced Quest for Glory 2, or the Quest for Glory series, and other games. But we're going to talk about Quest for Glory 2 because that's what we're playing. And basically, it's a subtle reference to the changing atmosphere within Sierra when the new creative director, Bill Davis, was brought on board. Now, I mentioned this before in a previous one, but the main villain in Quest for Glory 2 is Ad Avis, which is also a reference to Bill Davis, as basically saying subtly, not so subtly, that perhaps he was a villain and was probably doing something that the Coles did not agree with in terms of change. Because Ad Avis, as I said, is a reference to Bill Davis, with Ad being the DA of Davis and Avis being the rest of his name. So they basically took Davis, flipped the first two letters to be Ad, and then took the Avis to be the last name. So Ad Avis is a reference to Bill Davis. Now, I'm not sure if there's been any interviews where they've talked about why they did this. I mean, other than the reference of clearly some kind of change. But they probably never really spoke out about it because at the time they're probably still working for Sierra. But now that they no longer work for Sierra and they've done Hero U, I wonder if they've ever actually spoken out about why or what it was that Bill Davis was doing that brought on this subtle reference to basically name the broken town as an anagram for Sierra, and the main villain to be Ad Avis, basically based on Bill Davis. So it'd be cool to know why. So anyway, we've talked to Aziza, and it was funny because when you come in, she says she wants to talk to you, she wants to work some magic, but when you sit down with her, she's like, "Why have you come?" Well, you told me. I got a note to come to you, so I just thought that was kind of funny. And so you can ask her. I'm backtracking because I was rambling about the fun fact. So when you ask her about Ad Avis, you'll get a little bit of information. If you ask her about Razir, you'll get some more, but you can ask her about the elementals, like the earth and water, and you'll get even more information. Now, that information is not too useful. Just kind of explains what they were, but we've already defeated all the elementals, so we're all good now. So we're going to head over now to catch up to where we currently are in the game. And we're going to stock up on some healing pills because we know we're headed for Razir. We know we got trouble ahead of us, and we just don't know what is ahead of us this time. It's not going to be like fighting brigands or scorpions. Something big is waiting for us at Razir. And at the time, neither I nor the hero could remember what it was, except for somewhere along the line, we're going to be fighting Ad Avis. So now that we've got some pills, we can pump up with some stamina, and we can do another training montage. So we were down to 0 stamina, and we're going to take some more, and we're going to go in here for another round of training montage. All right, so we took some more pills. We're at 197 for stamina, which is pretty close to 200. I believe 200 is the max you can get. So we're pretty close to that. So we're going to fill up our water skins because we did take some of those vigor pills and stuff like that. All right, so now we're back at the moneymaker. We're going to see if she will actually take the Centene to Dinar, and we can see that we're way overweight. And pretty much all she does is explain. And try to convert, trade Centene. She'll say, "Show me something." Yeah, and it's pretty much fruitless. And then I tried to show her my muscles. All right, so clearly not impressed by my coin nor my muscles. We're going to go ahead and leave, and we're going to leave her, and we're going to go ahead and take a look around. So we're going to walk around these hallways again near the guild hall and see if these guys show up, because they did say, hey, tomorrow you'll get your instructions. So we're going to walk around, see if we can find anything. And I think I mentioned it, if the fact that I found a dead end is not at all surprising. I am, even in real life, the worst person with directions. If I walk around a tree, there is about a 50-50 chance that I may get lost along the way. Doesn't even have to be a really big tree. I'm not going to lie. All right, so it's now nighttime, and we're looking at street signs because the last note that we got was, look for this street, this cross street, and you'll know where to find us. So we're reading street signs, and just like in real life, street signs don't really help me. I'm still going to get lost. Even a magic map is not going to help me at all. All right, so we're going to let our hero wander for a bit, see if we can find our way through this. Spoiler alert, yes, we eventually do find what we're looking for. So we walk, we're going to look at the map, look at maybe some cross streets and figure out what we're doing without a lot of luck. Aha, some street signs. So the street signs apparently only are at the end of the hall, and hopefully going the right way now. Gonna make our way through. Some of these are, whoa, it's an open door. Well, well, well. I don't need to be a rogue to know that that's probably sus. So I'm gonna look at the map real quick, remember where that's at. And then they're saying, step in the darkness. I say step in the light. So you step into total darkness, voice says stand down, and then you basically get thumped over the head, feel yourself being dragged around, and you're chained. And you have 10 seconds to escape, says the voice. And so it begins counting down, 1, 2, 3, and then you're like, break the shackles. That's like the easiest thing. And right when the guy shows up, you have to do the dodge, grab your weapons, and then a fight ensues. But our hero is so incredible, down he goes. And the voices shout, kill him, kill him. And then we do kill man, and we try, and then the weapon doesn't do anything. And the guy stands up, and you discover this was a whole setup for the Eternal Order of Fighters, which is the EOF. And spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure this is exactly where I messed up. Because if you look here, they talk about how might is right, and the fact that when he was down and they were cheering to kill him, I actually did it. And the fact that he was down, and if you look, he was unarmed, I went for the killing blow. Now, I'm not sure how this gets back to Rakeesh to know that I did this, but clearly at the end, Rakeesh never says, you're a paladin, Harry Potter, or anything of that sort. I could have probably restored, because it's not really that far back from here to the end of the game. When I discovered, that Rakeesh does not speak on behalf of me of being a paladin, I could have probably restored. But at that point, I thought, you know what? That was the choice I made. I'm just going to go with it and just deal with it. So now we're part of the lame Eternal Order of Fighters. And the whole might is right probably didn't age too well. All right, we go back to this guy who was at the Eternal Order of Fighters or whatever, and see if he has a secret handshake he wants to do, cut me a deal for some weapons or something. But he's like, no, just get out of my face. So, okay. So glad I'm in the benefit of this Eternal Order of Fighters, because there is no benefit other than ruining my chance at being a paladin. Hindsight, folks. If you play this game and you're shooting for a paladin, don't attack the man when he's unarmed. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you just wait and they basically say, you're not in the club or whatever, but don't attack the man when he's down, even though you know you have a fake weapon. Don't do it. You won't be a paladin. All right, so now we're going into another traitor. This time we're doing it with Rakeesh, who you can see has a wounded leg. You can ask him about the wounded leg and he'll tell you about it. But Rakeesh, I'm ready to keep fighting. We got some vigor pills. We got to keep doing this thing. Got to raise my stats. Got to have that stamina of 200. Got to have all my skills up. I still have Quest for Glory 3, 4, and 5 to go through. I need to be the best that I can be, Rakeesh. So we're going to do it again. We're going to train one more time. It's probably way more than one more time if I remember correctly. It's like another 4 or 5 times. No, I was right. It was only one more time. Thank the maker. I don't know how many times I can fluff talking about the training montages. All right, so we're going to come back here. We're going to buy some more vigor pills. We do know that we're heading for Razir. We don't know what's going to be there, so we're stocking up on food. We got water. Don't know what's ahead of us, so we got to be ready. So we're going to drink some water. We're going to fill up that water skin because go back here and once you know it, we're going to take another vigor pill. And let's hear it. Training montage. All right, Rakeesh is pretty awesome, but we're going to keep training. Got to be strong. And once again, I'm still doing the same thing. You can see that I'm doing blocks and parries, stepping left and right and back. So this is basically increasing the dodge and parry skill, along with a few other attributes. At this point, it just looks like they're at a rave, just really, really, really enjoying their time. And the swords are just glow sticks at this point because it's going so fast. Oh, and I don't think I've explained it yet, but the hand in the lower left corner with the remote, I've not explained it in this one. In the other ones, I've explained it. So if you've watched the other ones, you already know what that hand in the lower left is. So when I originally played the game, I talked about how I sped up the combat and the training. The hand that you see in the lower left with the fingers moving around on the remote, that is actually from, if I remember correctly, it's from Leisure Suit Larry 6. I saw in Leisure Suit Larry 6. And what I did is I got it, captured it, and I green screened it. So that anytime I was forwarding anything in the game, in any game, I'd basically import that in, and I would basically put that in the lower left so you can tell that I was fast forwarding things. So like if you watch the original playthrough, which I've already talked about, it's like over 11 hours long, during the combat and training sequences, you'll see that hand pop up, and it's to indicate that the combat is moving much faster than it should be because it is being sped up. Now I could have put it on these commentary videos because they're all sped up, but then it would just be a hand that's in that corner the whole time, which would serve no real purpose. All right, so it is now nighttime, and we know that the poet is here. The poet is basically going to talk about how we've defeated the water elemental. So that is going to be pretty cool, and we're going to get some cash out of it. We're way overburdened to the point where it says, hey, you should probably drop some stuff after he gave us some money for dealing with the water elemental. But yeah, the Sultan's basically going to talk about how we are the hero Shapir with his awesome poetry. He's going to paint these incredible pictures about me. It's a hero of Shapir that just arrived here to save Razir and all who hold dear. All right. It's been a pretty long day and night for our hero. We've done a ton of montages. We fought a watery tart who did not give us a sword or make us the owner of a government system. So we're going to take some rest and end this commentary version. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I am trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers. So please like, subscribe, and share it. Share it, post it around. That would also be greatly appreciated. So the more people who are aware of it, there's more views and more likelihood of it being subscribed. So if you've enjoyed any of this at all, whether it was just 10 seconds of it, like at the intro, I would love if you shared it. Thank you, and see you in the final version, part 8, probably in a week. Thanks again, everyone.